Hey everybody, Justin DeLay from Reverb. We are here at the Akai booth with Nick, and we're going to talk about brand new Force. Now, I'm going to speak on behalf of a small contingent of the beat making community out there. Is this finally the Ableton in a box that we've all been looking for a long time?
It's interesting you say that. I hate to draw a comparison to Ableton. Obviously, we love Ableton. APC 40, we designed the first push, so there's a lot of love there. However, to compare it as Ableton in a box kind of takes away from the essence of what this really is, which is an instrument. It's the most advanced musical instrument that we've ever created, and given that there are thousands of ways that you can play melody and harmony, virtually limitless ways of setting up your drums, we feel it's an instrument that speaks to people of all different walks of life. Because of Ableton Link, again, bringing it back to that, you can have 10 of these things linked up through Wi-Fi along with our MPC brands and perform them all together. So the biggest difference between this and the controllers that are available is it's not a controller.
Right.
It has controller functions, but it's a standalone unit. So you're not touching the mouse. You're working on the product at all times. And what that does for your creativity is just, it explodes, right? And you develop workflows and muscle memory, and your ideas come out on the Force almost instantaneously.
Can you show us a couple of the key features of this thing?
Absolutely. Cool. I actually loaded up a drum kit, and I was standing behind, and this guy wanted to jam, so I just literally I'll show you this. Right, I'm going to delete that. All right, so say I want to take this and mirror it over here. All I had to do is take, boom, let's copy that, and let's copy this, and let's copy this, and let's copy that, and let's copy this there, and copy that there, and copy that there. And of course, you need to be able to think reverse here. But before you know it, I have a mirrored drum kit, and then I can play the same thing standing behind like this as I can there, and do a little collab video. So I don't know, I might actually do that, create a little collaboration video with, and maybe we want to have a guy over here too. So that alone, and the fact is, if I can just like delete that if I wanted to, or maybe I like that sample, I can copy it onto a bunch of different pads. I can go into my edit mode, and then I can adjust the pitch, and this is video game sounds, which I think everyone loves.
Yeah, sure.
And then let's go and show you some of the synth engines, right? So what's really cool about the ways that you can set up the pads and notes mode is you have the chromatic start on fourth style that we're used to with Launchpad, Push, and APC. If I'm on a minor scale, the octave is going to be yellow. But if I'm on a major scale, it's going to be pink. So if you're a musician across the room, you know exactly what to do. And then if you're flipping through the scales, I mean, it shows you exactly which notes to play, so you can practice. I mean, it's kind of like a little teacher here. So you have chromatic, and then you have scales. And I like to set up my pad rows to start on the root. So now I have the root note here, and all of the different notes within the scale. So I'm going to go to the natural minor scale. The octaves are stacked, and I have the hype synth here. So say I want to, or if I want to go up, just like things like that are just awesome. There's no other way to put it. That's cool. And let me actually show you the interface. So this is our brand new hype synth. I'm an analog guy. People used to ask me what synths I use, and I would tell them, well, I mean, I don't really use digital synths. Not this. This thing is so cool. It allows me to do so much that it's hard not to just fall in love with it. So right now I have my knob set up to control settings on the project level. That means I have a bunch of tracks here, and I can take any parameter from any track, and I can put them on 2 pages. So I have all my filters on page 1, and then I have some stuff for this synth on page 2. However, I can do the same for my track level, and I can go in and I can edit that stuff as I please. So if I wanted to, change this setting from the distortion mix to whatever the heck I want.
Customization, yeah.
Yeah, complete customization. And not only that, everything is mapped by the screen as well. So if I go back to my synth over here, now I'm on the page, the macro page, and then all of my different parameters are controlled here. And if I'm on the second page, the mapping is going to follow. So not only do you have the visual cue on the screen, but you also have it written on these beautiful little OLED screens that we have here.
So you get, to jump in for a second, so it seems like you're offering for the user, if you want to really look at the screen and touch it that way, you can get there. If you want to have more of the feel of the knobs, you can get there. If you want more of a grid-based workflow, you can kind of work your way across these different types of interfaces,
Absolutely,
right?
man. I mean, there's going to come a point I'm going to be able to do this stuff with my eyes closed.
Totally.
And really feel the instrument.
From an architecture perspective, drums, synths, how many different tracks, what kind of different instruments are inside of the machine itself?
4 integrated synth engines. We're going to add more. So you can
it's
definitely,
expandable.
it's like, and we're going to be updating the firmware on this product to make sure that it continues to speak to different types of musicians. So those 64 pads, what do you do with all those pads? Well, we want to make sure that people know exactly what to do with all those pads. So I showed you one way you can mirror and you can have 2 people playing the instrument at the same time. But we have 3 primary modes that this functions off. You have launch mode, note mode, step sequence, and you can combine modes too. So right here, I can combine launch and note mode. So I can be launching clips and recording clips up here on the top half, and I can be playing notes on the bottom half as well. But I can also do that on the touch screen. So if I'm in my matrix mode, I can launch clips, I can select tracks, I can add tracks, I can see the tempo and the key of my song. So there's all this visual cues that are happening as well. There's a 10 gig sample library. You can install a hard drive on the bottom, so you could put a 4 terabyte solid state drive in there and basically have every sample in existence. You can plug in an SD card in front. There is 4 CB gate outs. There is a MIDI in, out, and through, 2 instrument and microphone inputs, or instrument combination instrument and microphone inputs. Back to you asked about tracks. 8 audio, 8 plug-in, unlimited, I shouldn't say unlimited, 128, basically, practically, virtually unlimited drum tracks, key groups, MIDI, and CV.